My name is Vanessa Martinez, and my purpose with this video is to try to illustrate why vegetarians might not be paying too much attention to most of food commercials. The 19th century's Industrial Revolution marked a dramatic shift in social systems, including with these advertisements. Today, the average American consumer is attacked with hundreds of ads on a daily basis, and more we have learned to block them out. It has become a challenge for marketing campaigns to approach the consumer and persuade them in ways they're not expecting, by creating ads that are simply too interesting to look away, or through mediums they haven't learned to block out yet. This problem of avoiding marketers doesn't seem to happen very often to vegetarians in regards to food ads. The US food market is very consumer-driven, and being that only 3.2% of adults in the United States are vegetarians, this is not a market they're very interested to target. And that is precisely why most of mass media ads are for non-vegetarian foods. I asked my vegetarian coworker to tell me about when she sees ads that show vegetarian options. In her words,
so if there's some new item added in the restaurant which is vegetarian, of course that will interest me because practically there are very few vegetarian options in general. So.
The reason my coworker paid attention to the ads that are aligned to her dietary lifestyle is explained in the article Distinct Pathways to Persuasion, the Role of Affect and Message Framing Effects. Jonathan Van Wright states that positive and negative affect can influence the degree of persuasion a message will have on the receiver. Therefore, a message perceived as one with a positive effect for the receiver will be much more correlated with information acceptance, and what better positive effect than food that you can actually consume. The conclusion reached by the article, what makes open versus closed conclusion advertisements more persuasive, the moderating role of prior knowledge and involvement, explains why when a vegetarian sees the beginning of an ad of a restaurant, which products are mostly animal-based, such as Red Lobster or KFC, will be most likely less involved with the commercial and process the message on a superficial level of information processing. This is because the combined effects of involvement and conclusion and information processing were found to be significantly positively correlated. Of the percentage of vegetarians polled, the majority said that their reason for being a vegetarian was that of health concerns. So if the food messages they're watching are framed in a way to have as a main focus the health benefits of their products, and given that there are some vegetarian options, the receivers will be more likely to take a central route of persuasion in regards of the ad. This aspect is explained in the article, The Effects of Structural and Grammatical Variables on Persuasion, an Elaboration Likelihood Model Perspective. The article concluded that these grammatical aspects may act as determinants of peripheral cues and route of persuasion taken. Similarly, Elaboration Likelihood Model is used as a base for Andrew's research. In his article, The Effects of Involvement, Argument Strength, and Source Characteristics on Central and Peripheral Processing of Advertising, he explains the positive correlation between low involvement and likelihood to pay attention. Furthermore, recollect aspects of an ad. My coworker's experience with food ads aligns with Andrew's research.
But a lot of times, like the moment I know that they are non-vegetarians, non-vegetarian items, I kind of tend to ignore it because I'm really a vegetarian person. So I kind of ignore. I don't pay a lot of attention to it. So.
On that account, a high involvement message will be positively correlated with the receiver being engaged with the commercial. My coworker explains what elements in a commercial will lead her to take the central route of persuasion.
Something that would pay attention, would be if they had more vegetarian options. I think that would probably make me pay more attention to it. I think that's one of the things. And then secondly, I don't see any commercial, probably something that's non-frozen. I think that would be like, maybe a restaurant ad that, you have this food in this restaurant, you have this, freshly made, this, something like that. Mm-hmm. Or, something that I could cook fast, something dry and then, you could cook fast, those kind of items. So I think that would interest me more.
Perry Casiopo, one of the original authors of the Elaboration Likelihood Model, later introduced advertising to his research. In his article, Central and Peripheral Routes to Advertising Effectiveness, the Moderating Role of Involvement. Although the main focus of this research was the manipulation of argument quality and celebrity status of the presenter to determine persuasive level of an ad, the study also showed that there is a positive correlation between intention to buy and high involvement ads. Here, my coworker's experience again aligns with the results of this research.
I know Olive Garden ad was there that they have these new entrees coming up, so I think that interests me, and that in fact actually kind of triggered me to, go to Olive Garden, over the weekend. So, in past couple of weekends, I think the ad has been there for a while now, I think. So, but yeah, I mean, definitely, media does influence you, the way they present, and I think they did display a couple of vegetarian options too. So, I think that was pretty impressive. So that kind of, yeah. So I do pay attention, and I do make my decisions based on what they show in the ads.
Because the Olive Garden ad presented my coworker with a message she was involved with, the vegetarian entries, this caused a higher intention to actually buy the product, consequently resulting in the actual buying behavior. This intention to buy is also the main focus of Cole and her colleagues' research. In the article, the elaboration likelihood model, replications, extensions, and some conflicting findings, Cole's results also found a positive correlation between intention to purchase and quality of argument, which in this case can be the presence of vegetarian options. So the greater presence of vegetarian options, the greater the intention to buy, resulting in actual purchasing behavior. My coworker and I both agree that because the US food culture is centered more on animal food products, the chances of us seeing a lot of vegetarian commercials are very low. However, this is what my coworker and I would like to see.
Stress more on fresh foods, more on vegetarian options, not a lot of frozen and those kind of things. I think a lot of more health specific, but at the same time more fresh food, less canned food, less canned preserved food.
So in conclusion, and backed up by all the research based on the elaboration likelihood model, there need to be more veggies in order for us to pay more attention to the ads. Thank you for watching.